In this one, we're going to learn another way to scale analog in Studio 5000 Logic Designer. We've done it through the module properties, and we've done it through the main program using a compute function, but we're going to do it another way. So you've got multiple ways to do this. So another way to do it is something we've not done yet, and I said we'd do this earlier, is we're going to create what's called a function block diagram program. So in order to do that, we need to make a new routine. So we're going to go add new routine, and we'll just call this FBD scaling. Okay, and in this case, we've got to open this box and select function block diagram. Okay, it's going to be in the main program. That's where we did it. So we hit OK. So now we have a function block scaling. So we can't use it. So we'll just put it right here. We're going to add a rung, grab a normally open. We'll do the same thing. We'll just use the power on. And we type here JSR and hit enter. So if you mark it over here and type in JSR, it got rid of what there, but if you do it at the very beginning, so we'll have to go back and put that contact in there. But look, it got rid of all that stuff. And then we can double click in here and type in FBD scaling, pops up. Okay, so let's go back and grab our normally open, power on. I didn't have to do the escape. So the JSR, the quickest way to do it is just highlight the rung, type JSR, hit enter, and it puts it in there. And you don't have to erase all those input parameters stuff. So now we're going to call that. Now let's go to open up our scaling block. So we have nothing in there. So there's some things in here. You got a big page. You can organize sheet. You can do properties. I think this is going to be big enough for what we're doing. So we're going to be in here. And the first thing we got to do is find. So we've got some things here that it always gives you. So let's look and see if we just type in scale or matter of fact SCL, or we can process. There it is, under process. Been a while, so we're going to go to process. So you have a whole different menu of stuff you can use up here. So we got a scale function. All right, before we get to this, double click it, we need an in and out. So if you look up here, output reference, input reference, we need an input reference. We're going to put input reference here. What is it going to be? We're going to use, let's use that channel 1 again that we did for, we'll use a different output tag, but we're going to go ahead and go do LO local C. We can open up the box. We're going to go to local 4. Input channel 1 data, because it still has, if we go back and look at the wrong one. So we're going to go back and look at that channel 1. We see the engineering units are this. So getting interrupted right now by Mr. Kurt Haney, so we'll just put his name in the list here. So anyway, so we know the engineering units are here. So we go back to our scaling program. So we got local channel 1 in. Now, if you get a little orange or you get green, now we connect it there. We also need an output reference. So output reference, I'm going to right click, I'm going to click new tag. It's going to be a base tag, and let's call this one water temp. Okay, so we'll do this, do that. Now, what do we get to do? We double click on it. Well, I would double click on here. So we got to click in raw. We got to click these four things. We got to have an input. We got to have some values. So our in raw max is at 16,383. Our minimum is at 3277. Now your engineering unit max, maybe this, let's just say this is a 60 degrees as a high and 10 degrees as a low. Just picking out a number. So apply, hit OK. Now, all right, we should be reading that. If we go and go download, we'll go back to remote run. So now we see, here's our, and this is the nice thing about this one, we can be in this value. So now when we're getting this raw value, we're getting another value in decimal point temperature range that we can use. So this is just another third way. So there's different ways to do it. We can call the scaling function. We can do it in here. We can do it with our compute function, and we can do it within the module properties tags. So different ways to do it, but we're using nraw max, nraw min, EU engineering units. So we got this raw value coming in from the Logix controller, bouncing around, and we're converting it to what I'm just calling water temperature.